What's up, y'all? This is Alex Thompson coming at you live with this first sports talk video show. This is my first sports talk show, so please be patient with me. It's my first time, so kind of learning the ropes as we go. First off, I don't have the right equipment, so the quality's kind of not as great as I want it to be, but I got new equipment on the way, so please be patient. It will get better. Like I said, I'm learning the ropes here, so any feedback you guys can give me will be much appreciated. So let's start breaking it down. So this first video, we're going to be talking about the playoff picture right now, talking about the Wildcard weekend coming up the 6th and 7th, 5th and 6th. Anyway, this weekend, we got 4 different matchups this weekend. Not going to be talking about the 4 teams on a bye because they're not playing. In the AFC, you got the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. In the NFC, you got the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. Like I said, not gonna be talking about them because they're not playing. So we got 4 matchups this weekend. We got on Saturday Colts versus Texans and Seahawks versus the Cowboys, and then on Sunday we got the Chargers versus the Ravens and the Eagles versus the Bears. So first, I'm going to talk about the game on Saturday with the Colts versus the Texans. So they played twice this year because they are divisional rivalries in the AFC South. They split both of them. The Colts won one, and the Houston Texans won one. Each game was decided by a 3-point win. So watch out for this game to be a very exciting and very close game. So we have the number 1 pick in the 2012 draft with Andrew Luck versus the number 12th pick in the 2017 draft with Deshaun Watson. Both of these teams are kind of opposites. You have the Texans, who are very defensive and like to run the ball with Lamar Miller and Deshaun Watson. And on the other side, you have Andrew Luck, who can scramble and throw to his tight ends, either Jack Doyle, Eric Ebron, or to the speedy, shifty wide receiver of T.Y. Hilton. So watch for those connections. But you can't forget about DeAndre Hopkins on the Texans, who did not drop a pass this year. So watch out for that connection with the Texans. Something else on the defensive side for the Colts, you have Darius Leonard, who just got named to the Pro Bowl and is a potential defensive rookie of the year. So watch out for that man to make big plays in this game against that run game. But also watch for the Texans to play that play action, make him come up, play the run. And then so you can get your tight end and DeAndre Hopkins and your other wide receivers open for the Texans. Right now, offense for the Colts is ranked number 7th, while the Texans is ranked number 15th. Defensively, Colts are ranked number 11th and Texans are ranked number 12th. So, both are very close. So it's going to be a very close game, and I think it's going to come down to the team that has the last possession. I think the Texans are going to come up with the win because they are the home team. And I was doing some research, and the home team gets a +3 margin or points because they're the home team. They have all the fans, while the visiting team are going to get confused by all the noise in a different location. But it's going to be a close game. I'm excited for that one. Now going to the other AFC game on Sunday versus the Chargers versus the Ravens. The Ravens won earlier in Week 16 on the road in LA, 22-10, and they shut down a very hot Philip Rivers. That whole team had 5 turnovers the first 15, 16 games, and then the past 2 games they've had 7 turnovers. So quite the difference. In order for the Chargers to win, they need to limit those turnovers because Baltimore's got the number 1 ranked defense, got a lot of good defensive players: Eric Weddle, Brandon Carr, Tony Jefferson, C.J. Mosley. They've been in the league for, a few years or a lot of years, so they know how to play. They know what to expect out of Philip Rivers, especially Eric Weddle, who used to play for the Chargers. So look for that knowledge for the Chargers coming from Eric Weddle. Something else about this game that's really interesting is that Lamar Jackson didn't start till Week 11 or so, and he set the most rushes by a QB in a season. With, I believe, 147, and he had 695 rushing yards. So this kid is special. I saw an interview earlier on NFL.com where he said he's hungry for this victory. He's the youngest quarterback ever to play in a playoff game, so he's hungry. He's got that ambition. He's got that passion. So watch for him to, scramble and run. That's what they've been doing all year. That run game is really well. So it's gonna be a good game. I think that it's gonna be played in Baltimore, and I think the Ravens are going to pull it out again. I think that, this might be a revenge game for the Chargers. They're going to come out with a lot of fire because they're like, hey, these guys shut us down and we're not going to let that happen again. But I think that the Ravens are clicking very well right now, especially with Lamar Jackson at the helm. So I hope that they can continue that, and I think the Ravens are going to pull out the win. Going on to the next game, the Eagles versus the Bears. That's on Sunday afternoon. And defending champs versus a very red-hot, very defensive Bears team. You have, Khalil Mack, Leonard Floyd, Akeem Hicks, Prince Mukamara, Trevathan, Eddie Jackson, and one of the 3 players to lead the league in interceptions this year, and Kyle Fuller. So that defense is going to be looking to, get after Nick Foles, but it's Nick Foles, right? He led this team last year to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots. So I feel like that's going to be a storyline for this game, and, we'll see if he shows up. I feel like he will because when they beat the Texans and the Redskins, he got injured in that Redskins game, but I feel like he's healthy now. He's going to be wanting to come back and, put out for this team. A couple interesting storylines for this game. It's going to be a very defensive game. You got a couple young players on the Bears. You got Trubisky, drafted last year. For them to win, he has to play well. Not great, but well. He cannot lose the game for them to win. And Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen, both great running backs. They got to take quite a load for this team because their wide receivers are injured, with Allen Robinson, who's banged up in the ribs. Anthony Miller's questionable, and Taylor Gabriel, who was questionable for this game. So watch out for those, for a lot of run game this year. Sorry, not this year, this game. And going on to the injuries for the Philly, like their secondary has been depleted more than half the year, and Malcolm Jenkins has been the leader of that secondary, so he has to really, teach these young guys different coverages, and just communicate what the plan is so they don't get beat. Another interesting storyline, as I was mentioning, or will mention right now, is you have on the Eagles side, you have veterans with great playoff experience and Super Bowl experience. You got Chris Long, Malcolm Jenkins, Michael Bennett, Fletcher Cox. So watch out for these guys to try and really make plays for their team because they've been here before, and they are defending champs. So you got to give them respect for that. So watch for them to, like I said, try and make plays for their team for them to win this game. Versus, the Bears, who are very young, athletic, and hungry. Like, these dudes are crazy good, and defense wins championships. If you look at, previous Super Bowl winners, like the 85 Bears, got the Steel Curtain, 2013 Seahawks, 2015 Denver Broncos, like all these teams that have won, Patriots multiple years in a row, and, 5 or 6 rings, like, defense wins championships in this league. Even though this league is trying to change to an offensive league, defense will win your championships because they'll shut down the offense and then they can make plays for you to get good field position and score, or that defense will score for you. So it's going to be a good, interesting game. I think the Bears will win it, though, just because they beat some of the top teams this year, and I think they will make the Super Bowl or they are going to come close. Moving on to the second game on Saturday, my personal favorite, got the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. You have a 7-year veteran in Russell Wilson, who's 23 fourth quarter / game-winning drives against a Cowboys team that's turned to a very defensive team with Rob Malinelli at the helm of that defense. Right now, Dallas is number 7th in defense, with number 5th defense in rushing, led by 2 very young, very talented linebackers and another defensive potential rookie of the year in Vander Esch and a young Jalen Smith. Like, these dudes can read plays, cut the holes in blocking schemes, blitz well, make great tackles. So watch out for those two. You have obviously the #1 rushing team with Chris Carson, Mike Davis, and the rookie Rashad Penny. Like Chris Carson, I feel like is really going to show out for the Seahawks because he has a lot to prove for this team. Last year he had that high ankle sprain and got injured and was out for the season. And that kind of didn't really get them into the playoffs because their running game was weak. So I feel like he's going to come out ready to strike. But on the other side, you have Ezekiel Elliott, dude, from Ohio State. Man, that dude is a beast. You gotta feed him, feed that man, dude. That dude is gonna make you win games. And that recent trade with Amari Cooper for the Cowboys have really worked well. 2 weeks ago when they were playing Philly, like he had 3 touchdowns, I want to say, and he had the game-winning touchdown. So in order for them to win, Dak has to target him. Obviously you can have 1 or 2 interceptions, but you don't want it to be a game-ending interception. Like Seattle's defense, they have a rookie in Trey Flowers. They have an All-Pro defensive first team and Bobby Wagner and a newly fresh KJ White coming back. KJ Wright. And a defensive line in Jaron Reed, who's got 8.5 sacks, up from 2 sacks last year. And then you got Frank Clark, who's leading the league or the team in sacks, really stepping it up. And then the rotation guys are phenomenal. And then you got Bradley McDougald, who's really filled the well of that strong safety in for Cam Chancellor. Obviously, you got Tedrick Thompson filling in for Earl Thomas, who broke his leg in I want to say week 4 or 5. So watch them to kind of target him. But for the Cowboys to win this game, they got to defensively shut down the Seattle's run game and take care of Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett, because Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett have a perfect passer rating with each other, and they make big plays. So shut down those big plays in that run game, and then you win the game. And offensively, you got to score. Like you can't be getting field goals every drive. Like you have to score. Earlier this year, Seattle played. They won. That was week 3, I want to say, but that was so early that it really doesn't matter. Both these teams have evolved into different type of playoff teams, so it's going to be a good game. I am looking forward to watching it. I hope that Seattle wins. A little bias over here, but I got other friends who are huge Cowboy fans, and I'm excited to see who's going to win. But overall, these games are going to be great, and I'm excited to see who wins. And I will be back very soon to tell you guys my breakdowns of these games and looking on to the divisional round after these games are completed. Thanks for watching. Click the like button, subscribe, give me any feedback. Like I said, it's my first video. I would love to keep continuing doing this. Please tune in, share this with your friends, share this with your parents, share this with your enemies. I don't care. I'm trying to go, go, go. You know what I'm saying? Go, 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 Inspector Gadget like. So thanks for tuning in. Be back soon. Thanks for watching.